Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another pick a card reading for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now first, I would like to start off by saying happy Halloween to everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic, fun day. Now, this video focuses on what do I need to focus on during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury does go retrograde today, and it goes retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, which is the sign that we are currently in. And I just felt that this was very important to talk about. So what better to do a pick a card reading on it, because Mercury rules our thought process, our logic, our ideas, and the way that we communicate. So this all rules a very big factor of our lives. So everybody go ahead, take a second, get centered. I'm going to pause the video and you guys can pick what group or groups you feel pulled to, and I'll see you back. Okay, so for my group number ones, we get the Two of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Swords, Oshushi, and Secret Societies. And what I'm seeing for you, group number ones, is kind of being at a standstill point, kind of being like stuck and not really knowing what decision to make or what decision to come to. For some reason, you are feeling quite down and defeated, almost like at rock bottom. There's a lot of thoughts that are coursing through your mind, and there may even be a level of codependency or just depression that is tied within all of this, and really feeling defeated, like you're at rock bottom, almost like you can't even fathom coming to the space where you have to make the decision to even move forward. But that is what I'm seeing as what it is that you need to focus on during this Mercury retrograde, is the fact of moving forward. When we look at Oshushi, we cannot ignore the fact that he is the number 10. And 10 is our number of completion. So we're looking at moving out of this cycle of feeling down and feeling defeated and feeling at rock bottom and letting our brains run wild and feeling depressive and feeling sad. Okay, and we are looking at exiting that and moving forward. When we look at the Secret Society card, we see her with her face covered, and she is in this clearing, this area, but she can't see her external, what's going on in the external. That's because she has went in. She has went inwards to go over and see what it is, what do all of these thoughts mean for her? What does being at rock bottom mean to her? What everything that has happened, what does that mean for her? And she is seeking guidance as well as justice from her higher self, but also from the divine, from the spirit realm. She's going for divine counsel and seeking justice here for what has happened, but also for her to be able to move forward on her path. And that's what I'm seeing here. This energy of being able to move forward, coming to a space where you are seeking information from the divine that will be able to help you move forward, and you're reevaluating some of the things that have happened and coming to a space and coming to that decision that I was just talking about, that tells you that you don't have to hold on to this. You don't have to stay in this space of being stuck and being stagnant and not being able to feel like you're moving forward, not being able to feel like you can even get up off the ground or get up out of bed and make that effort to shoot forward and make that effort to to let this piece of your life go, to let this piece of your cycle go. But that really comes with the fact of going within and seeking divine guidance and seeking divine justice for yourself on your path to be able to move on. And that's really, what I see for my group number ones, is kind of not that it's like shaking yourself out of this energy or this feeling initially like just snap out of it. It's not like that. It's like going within while you're in this place, reevaluating your feelings while you're in these, you know, in this space, and calling in your team, calling in who it is that you seek guidance from in the divine, in the spiritual realm, and going from there while you are feeling low and while you are feeling at rock bottom. Now, I do feel that it's necessary to let you know that, yes, these feelings are intense, and they may grow more intense through these, you know, through these next 3 weeks, because Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, which is also the sign that we are currently in now. So we're getting these energies of rawness and authenticity that are fueling our life force energy. And then we are also getting these feelings of rawness and authenticity and like the shadow sides and the deepness and the depth through our mental as well. And that's why these things are coming up, and that's why these things are bothering you so much and will be bothering you so much over the next course of these 3 weeks. Scorpio is excuse me, is such an intense sign to be in. So really make sure you heed this and work with this, because it's working to shed this from you so you can move on, so you can get back up to your feet, so you don't have to stay in this place any longer. But that is what I'm seeing for my group number 1s. Now for my group number 2s, we get the Fool card, the 7 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, Hugan of Congo, and Alofi. Now, I see a few things going on for you, number 2s. One, I see transformation at your feet. I see a really, really big transformation at your feet during this Mercury Scorpio, or this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And I also see the world being in the palm of your hands. That this Mercury retrograde is literally a new beginning for you, transformationally. I guess, like, I don't know, I'm trying to say it, it's coming out all weird. But anyways, like, your transformation, there's a new page, a new level to the transformation of you and your soul. And it's almost like the world is at your feet, that this transformational energy kind of comes in like a shockwave for you. And you may already be feeling this, like something is coming, something is changing, something is working. We see a really big need to go within and retreat. We don't see, within the 7 of Swords, we don't see anyone else around her at all. And we see her looking up in a fashion that she's like, oh shit, you know, like, I don't want to get caught. And this is because she is gathering all of these things, all of her resources. She's gathering all of her thoughts, all of her resources, everything that she needs to go retreat, to fly under the radar so nobody sees her. Nobody's asking her what she's doing. Nobody is asking her where she's at. Nobody, because she's out of sight, out of mind. Okay. And we see this, we see you a lot in your mental, a lot in your thought process, going over a lot of things, so you're prepared. I see this as preparation when, and a lot of motivation during this, that you have right now, okay? And this is all very well and good, but we have to remember that, one, we are looking at transformation here, and transformation can get kind of crazy, especially when it shoots in, especially when it's shooting in, right? And like, it's kind of the energy is kind of coming in kind of fast. We have to remember to factor in some emotions here, because we have this strong energy of Swords with the 7 of Swords and the Queen of Swords, that there isn't a lot of emotion attached here. And that's why we're seeing this card. That's why we're seeing the Hugan of Congo, because we are looking at the advice during this Mercury retrograde. And this is to kind of let things flow, let things move how they are supposed to move. Don't rush things, don't force things, okay? This might even be some development happening that you hadn't been trying to previously call in, because Mercury retrograde does bring up things that we have tried in the past that may not have worked or may have fizzled out. So you may have been looking at something like that. You may be looking at something like that as well. But nevertheless, we are not forcing things, and we're not forcing things to be too logical. We're not forcing things to be too intuitive, but we are like literally getting in our zone and just moving with the flow and moving to the beat of our own drum while we are in this form of creation and creating what it is that you are ideally trying to create, because inevitably there's something that is being created here. There's something that's going to be birthed into the physical world. And whether it's a new opportunity that is at your feet that's already starting to develop now, or it is something else, regardless, that I'm really seeing within this that there's a high level of motivation, one, to transform, because I feel as if you are ready for that. But also there's this energy that I can't get over that is really, really seclusive, and you're really feeling the pull to go within. So just make sure that you're not being too logical and too sharp. Like literally like one of these swords. Make sure that like as you're going through things and you're going over things and you're like making plans and you're going through these developments, that you're not like just like poking things with the sword. I kind of see this energy, like this pokey energy, where you're just kind of like stabbing things to move them out of your way, that there's not really much emotion attached. So we have to remember to factor that in, because when we are trying to go through and we're trying to transform, or we're trying to be birthed into a new person, or we're trying to birth in this new opportunity into our lives, because for some of us, this is an opportunity that is taking place. For some of us, this is the transformation into a new person, okay? And that this new person, this new phase of your life is being grown and developed. And we have to factor in emotion, because just as if we're creating anything, if we're creating something physical that you can hold in your hand, or we're creating ourselves in a new way to be a new person, a better person, to be evolved on our path, we have to factor in emotion. It can't be logic. It can't be the straight edge of the sword that's just like chopping through and cutting through all the time. There has to be compassion. There has to be compassion for others, and there has to be compassion for yourself. So make sure that you are not getting too rigid. Okay, and that is what I'm seeing for my group number 2s during this Mercury retrograde. For my group number 3s, we get the Chariot, the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, Zambai, and Magic Mirror. Now, what I'm seeing here in your kind of challenge during this Mercury retrograde is the fact that you are trying to like move forward, like full steam ahead, like a train that's like brakes have went out and is just moving down the track at this really high accelerated rate of speed. Okay, and that's what you're trying to do, is to just like push forward. And I think why I'm seeing like without brakes is because there is this block that is in front of you, and you're kind of hoping to just kind of like ram through it and ram past it, and like so this block just shatters and you can just continue going full steam ahead, is what I'm really seeing, because you have been getting what you feel like less than what you deserve, or what you've been given is in minimal amount, and you feel like you've been like almost had to beg people, beg the universe, whatever, you know, it's just this energy of not having enough and the sadness connected to that, and just not, even if it's not having enough, like even if you do have enough, it's like a very, very small amount. And it's just like, I'm sick and tired of asking for handouts. I'm sick and tired of asking for, you know, asking for things and not receiving them in the way that I feel that I should be receiving them. I'm sick and tired of receiving shit, basically, is what I'm seeing within the Six of Pentacles. Okay. And again, we see when we're looking at how it needs to be focused during this Mercury retrograde, again, we see the Zombie card, which is indicating being stuck and not being able to really scream out and ask for help. Okay. So, but within that, within feeling like you're not, almost like you're not being heard, and what you're saying is not being heard, we get the magic mirror, which means that there is an illusion encased in this and a lot of emotion that is causing this, and things are dark and you can't see clearly, and it's almost like trying to fight and trying to grab something but almost missing it. And when we're going through this, the blocks, like when we're looking at blocks on our path, we have to understand, is it like a physical block that's in your way, or is it your own mental state? Because I'm kind of getting the feeling that this block that is being created, the reason why you feel like you can't get past this block and that you're not being heard, is it's the illusion that's encased in that that feeling like you can't get through this block is literally, like, the feeling that you can't is literally what's blocking you from getting past the block, if that makes sense. That you have to be able to narrow your eyes and gather your demeanor, gather yourself, gather your emotions, gather your logic, and look straight into the illusion and see through that shit. Okay, that's what you need to spend your time doing during this Mercury retrograde, is looking at this block that's in front of you, and instead of seeing it as a block and not being heard, look through it to see the depths of what it is. What is the depths of this block? What is this block trying to tell you? What is it that you have to overcome? What fear do you have to overcome the block? That's why it's a block. It's something that you need to work through before you can get past. It's like coming to like toll roads, right? So if you're on like a toll road, you have to pay to drive on them, right? So when you exit the toll road, like you get a ticket when you get on the toll road. And for those of you who don't know how they work, but you get a ticket when you get on the toll road, and then when you get off, you have to pay. So it's kind of like coming to like that block to where like you got your ticket and you're on this road, you're on this path, like you've bought the ticket, you found the ticket, whatever, and you're on this path, and then it's like it's time for you to get off the road and receive what it is that you were going down the road to receive, right? But then it's like there's something that's standing in your way, and then you have to do something. And with toll roads, you have to pay, obviously, but anyways, you have to do something to be able to get this block to raise up and let you go through. Now, ideally, it might not be money that like has to be paid for this block to be removed, but for some people, maybe it is something that's financial that's blocking you. But ideally, you have to look at it and see, what is it that I have to do to remove this block, for this block to go up so I can go through on my path? And that is what you have to focus on, not focusing on what is exactly happening around you or what is not happening for you, and focus on how you can see straight through it and what it is that you have to do to get out of it. Not focusing on where you're at, focusing on how to get through that block and how to get through feeling stuck and unheard. Okay, and that is what I'm seeing for my group number 3s. Now, for my group number 4s, we get the Wheel, And I've been seeing this card so much lately, and I really don't mind. Change is coming. The Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Les Mortis, and Nenen Boloku La Flambeau. Now, this, I'm fond of your cards, group number 4. Very fond of your cards. Whenever we have the Wheel of Fortune, we are always looking at things shifting. And for you, group number 4s, things have begun to shift for you. You're coming to this place where you are sick and tired of being walked over all over. You're sick and tired of being taken advantage of, and you're just done. Like, you've come to the decision that you're done being like this workhorse for other people. You're done making things happen for other people and not making them happen for yourself. And you're kind of like dismissing this, and you've kind of come through like, no, it's my turn now. It is my turn to fucking shine. And we see this within the Three of Pentacles as well, as being recognized for what it is that you're doing, and the hard work and your light and your vision, being recognized for that. And you are ready for this, okay? This is what you are ready for. And kind of what a lot of your thoughts have been consuming of is kind of just finding your place and standing firm and being seen for what it is that you are doing. Now, when we look at the advice for this and the kind of how to come to this place where you are being seen and you are being recognized and you are being celebrated, because that's idealistically what it is that you are ready for and what it is that you're looking for. We're looking at Les Mortis, right? And usually this card means release, but with this, I'm really seeing more of connecting with the ancestors and listening to their call to find inspiration, to find the inspiration that will get you seen and get you heard. We're connecting with our ancestors and receiving messages from them on what it is that you need, or how you need to be inspired, or what it is that you need to be inspired by, or what it is that you need to do to get to this point where you are recognized, where you are seen, and where you are heard. But over the next 3 weeks, you are connecting with your ancestors. You are going over these ideas, and you are setting the intention that you are done being this person you're done being this person that's in the background, and now you are this person that is in the center stage, and you are receiving this light and this recognition for what it is that you're doing. You are setting that intention, and you are connecting with your ancestors, and you are leaving it open to be inspired. And I see this because, one, we have all of these dead people that are reaching up like, pick me, pick me, pick me. We have one over here that's like shouting messages that you may have missed. But when we look at Nenembolo Kula Flambeau, we see the fire is all in the third eye. Okay, and this is our mind's eye, where we see pictures, where we see visions, where our imagination comes to place, where we have where our ideas come in and all of that. Okay, so a lot of this is receiving the information. Okay, receiving the information from spirit and your ancestors on how you need to go about things for people to see your light. And that is what you're focusing over the next 3 weeks. So no, don't go into this like, okay, I was trying to connect for a week and got nothing, or it doesn't make any sense, or blah, 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 especially if you don't have an already built up connection with spirit and with your ancestors. Remember that we are looking at this retrograde happening until like November 20th, something like that. And this is also in the sign of Scorpio, so things are going to be feeling intense. So just make sure that you are connecting and you are open to receiving these messages so people can see you and people can see your light and you can really, really start to shine. And that is what I'm seeing for my group number 4s. Now, if you feel like you need a message or you have any questions or need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'd love to work with you every